So I'm Simon Marshall, and I'm a senior partner at Action Coach and managing director at Action Coach Hastings. So if I could start by making a quick thought, that is, marketing has to shift as much as the world has shifted. People's mindset has shifted, people's way of doing things has shifted, and therefore our marketing methodologies must shift. There's more fear, more trepidation, more concern in the marketplace. There's also more scarcity and more desire to buy quickly in certain areas and slower in other areas. And so our marketing has to shift in that way. If you as a person are struggling with thinking about how marketing has to shift, let me give you one simple example. So look, I was watching a TV advert recently, and they haven't changed their marketing since the crisis. It's still an ad for buying a Rolex. You'll look fab, you'll look great, you'll look fantastic if you own a Rolex. It's the best watch in the world. If you think about it, from that ad, people are just going to get turned off. Flip that over and imagine they had changed that advert and said something like, look, we know times have changed and we know times are tough, but there are still moments when you need to celebrate. There are still moments where anniversaries and birthdays, where you want to give people a gift of amazingness or a gift that celebrates. We're here for you during this time. We're closed and we're virtual, but we can help. So just changing up your message can make a significant difference to the response you get. So when we talk about marketing during a crisis, it's not just during the crisis. It's going forward from now on. The perceptions and the realities of the world have shifted. Everyone needs to understand that there is stuff going on that is changing. I'm here working in my home office. I hope what we go through today will give you more information, but there is plenty more on the website. So make sure you're learning enough to survive and then thrive. So let's look at the marketing stuff and what I'm going to focus on for the next hour or so. Okay, so first off, the current climate is forcing people to do what needs to be done. It's forcing people to do marketing they should have been doing before. Let's be blunt, okay? Google has been around since, I think, about 1998. LinkedIn 2003 and Facebook 2004. Instagram 2010. We start looking at this where your target audience is. Google, being the first one out there, should always be the first thought. Facebook bought Instagram to keep the young audience on there. Facebook users are now 25 years plus. And the younger users are on Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat. And we have to be aware that these things are massive. Okay, so look, Google owns YouTube, and therefore the two largest search engines in the world. YouTube advertising is something most businesses don't even think about and what they should and could be doing, let alone populating it with content. So we'll get to that, each of these things, in a little while. Look, less than 5% of businesses have even tried Google advertising. When it comes to search engine optimization or SEOs, the things that we are being forced to do because of this are the things that should have always been done. Search engine optimization is by far the greatest investment you make in online things. We're going to look at getting those organic leads versus paying for the advertisement, getting those 3 top positions on Google and what it takes to do that. We're going to talk about all of this and how you get a return on investment and how you actually get this stuff running, making certain that everything is out there and making certain that you've got it. We need to make sure we're all on marketing trend and we know where we're going, but that doesn't start with just the idea of which format. What it starts with is the understanding of your strategy. Okay, look, so the first of my 12 steps to pivot your marketing is that marketing strategy is all about one simple thought, and that is buying lifetime customers. Our job with marketing is to invest a certain amount of money to buy a customer that will then be with us for a lifetime of purchases. So the marketing, the sales, the customer service is all part of the strategy. In previous times, we were able to go out, knock on doors, go to marketing events, but in this day, that's not going to work. We need to devise methodologies where people come to us. At this point, the marketing strategies we have used in the past have just disappeared or have gone away for the foreseeable future. So when we're looking at buying lifetime customers, we're looking at what we can sell best and what we can sell first, because it's looking at the products you sell, as not all of the products or services you sell will be great door openers for your marketing. Not all of the things you sell are the things you should be out there in front of your customers with. So ask yourself this: what are the easiest sells? What are the best door openers? What are the ones that lead you to customers who buy for a long period of time? Can you even use a free sample to get people to buy from you? Is that a possibility? What methodologies are you using strategically? Often we need to look at our strategy as multiple steps. In a perfect world, you could go straight to the sale. No one would be upset if you were saying, buy my Rolex. However, in a market where there is fear, there is scarcity, there is uncertainty of wanting to do business immediately, what you have to do in many cases is build your strategy to a multiple step to build a relationship. Okay, opening the door first and gradually moving that person through. Now, some of you may be in a business that has been positively benefited either during lockdown or coming out of the previous lockdown, as the demand for your business or services is at massive highs. Now, if that is the case, your marketing needs to be that of feel-good marketing. We are here for you. We are listening to you. We are doing what we can. Thanks to our team members for putting in extra hours. Thanks to our loyal customers. If your business is in boom, don't be insensitive to that. Make sure your strategy is reflecting what it is. Some of your marketing at the moment is nothing to do with making a sale. It's just about saying, we're here and we're thinking about you. So think about what is right for your customers. Do you want to be taking them through a few steps and building a relationship first? If so, you have to be building your strategy on that. So if we're thinking about this stuff, the big question is, are there people buying your product or service right now? For some of you, that might be no. And if so, your marketing should be about focusing on keeping in touch, getting people ready to buy. Some businesses have had to change their product or service, in which case it's about educating your customers and potential customers about the new thing you are doing. Some of you may have moved to a help strategy. We're here to help. We're here if you need us again. Much the same as what I'm doing in marketing, how I can help business owners survive and thrive, offering pro bono coaching to those businesses in need and free coaching sessions. I was speaking to a cleaner recently, a who has been disinfecting the door handles on the shops and offices in their town, and they've been doing it free. They are also positioning themselves as the expert in their industry. We are here to help. We are professionals at what we do. We can help keep your employees and your customers safe. So look at your strategy and make sure it's appropriate for where we are in this point of time for your product or service. So look, next, step 2 of my 12 steps to pivot your marketing is shift your message. Okay, your message has to shift. As I mentioned about the business selling the Rolex, they didn't shift their message, therefore got attacked for not being sympathetic or compassionate. If you shift your message, you'll actually get people saying thank you. If your marketing message isn't getting that type of response, then you're getting it wrong. We need to be making sure that the level of sympathy, empathy, and compassion is extraordinarily high in our message right now. Every single business can do this right now. If you want to test your message, put it up on social media and see if it gets a lot of engagement and interaction and feedback. So sometimes you have to shift your message because you're doing a whole new thing. Remember, you have to educate people to what it is you're doing, but also you're getting a whole new target audience. To give you an example, one of our businesses we coach in Action Coach is a steel business. They normally put mezzanine floors into buildings. They had to change their business because it just disappeared overnight. And they started to make weight training equipment, you know, like barbells and dumbbells. They had to shift their marketing massively and learn how to sell a completely different product to a completely different target market. But it was also selling out whilst we're in lockdown to people who wanted to keep fit. Okay, so other times it just has to take on that empathetic shift to say we understand. To give you another example, another one of our Action Coach clients is also in the cleaning business, but the removal of mold and asbestos. So they have changed their message to normally we are in the business of dealing with highly dangerous substances. Okay, and they've changed it to we are well trained to cleaning your premises because we normally deal with highly dangerous substances. Okay, so they've become the experts in cleaning. So whilst they have had to shift, they've used what they previously did to enforce the marketing message. Even if you're in a business that isn't in high demand at the moment, you don't want to be doing high demand marketing. It's just not going to work. For instance, supermarkets who usually market by saying, here is this product for this price, here is this product for this price, you can get this at a discount and so on, have shifted to saying, thanks to all our employees, thanks to all our customers. Here is what we are doing to keep you all safe. Okay. Remember, shift your message, shift your marketing, be compassionate, be empathetic, be understanding. This is not just an economic crisis, this is a health crisis. It's tough for everyone. People out there are in fear of their lives, not just their economics. So we must make sure this is part of what we are doing in the marketplace today. Okay, step number 3, update your website. Okay, so the third thing, if you haven't already updated your website since this thing started, you need to get onto it, and you need to get onto it now. 2 main reasons. The front page of your website probably isn't relevant in the current environment. Start by looking at your front page and looking at your messaging. Is it empathetic enough? Okay, and secondly, the content of today and what people are looking for is different. Look at all of your search engine optimizations, your SEOs, your blogs, your vlogs, your headers and footers on each page. They need to be updated for what the current relevant message is. You don't want people to get to your website and be turned off because you are not sympathetic to the current situation. All of your tags and all of your descriptions need to be updated right now. Look at your photographs and ask yourself, are they currently relevant? All of your hashtags need to be updated. What are the relevant hashtags for the current time? If you don't have a blog on your website, now is the time to add one, because you want to update your website daily. Look, a website with a great search engine optimization is 430% more likely to attract potential customers than a site without it. A blog makes a massive difference to this. You can use the same information on your website as you are posting on social media, but update it daily. Make sure your links to social media are all working. Look, this might seem a lot today, and that's because it is. Because there's a lot of things you can be doing to increase the level of flow of leads into your business. Look, what are the top 10 pages that rank on your website? Okay. When you look at your Google Analytics, where are you ranking the best? And work with those top 10 pages first. What is your time on site? What are the buttons that are clicked the most? And which ones the least or never? If you don't know what this is, you're going to have to ask for help on this stuff. I am more than happy to introduce you to my network of trusted professionals to help. Test stuff on social media, and if it gets a lot of interest, create a button on your website. Make sure on the front page of your website there are at least 2 offers. One is a date and the other one a marriage. So let me explain that. The date says sign up for our newsletter or something similar, and the marriage is click here to speak with someone now who can help. The worst thing you can do on your front page is not be clear on what to do and not being clear on what to do next. If I don't know what button to pick or what button to click on, the first button I'll press is the back button. Okay, so look, step 4 in my 12 steps to pivot your marketing is step up your content. Okay, look, if you have any questions, I should have time at the end, so type them into the question box and I'll pick them up at the end. Right now, content is king. It always has been, but right now, it is the most important thing you can do. Now, if we look at your different strategies, like your blog, I want to see at least 1 post in your blog per day. Up to 3 or 4 is fine. With Twitter, that should be between 10 to 50. Okay, 10 to 50 is not a bad thing on Twitter. Twitter is very fast moving. Facebook, maybe 3 to 4 posts a day and preferably 1 video per day. Okay, if you are scared about doing videos, just chat like you're talking to a friend or a customer. If you really struggle, these are the 7 things you need to know about this, okay? Or the 4 things you need to know about that, okay? They're the type of things that you can use, okay? Just write yourself some notes, keep it short, keep it sharp, and to the point. With LinkedIn, write a minimum of 2 posts per day, probably 3 or 4, including 1 video. Instagram, 2 or 3 posts a day. Instagram TV is becoming amazing. Up to 10 minutes of video is a whole new spectrum on Instagram. Okay, you've got to get the content out there in volume. This is why webinars work. because you do the webinar and then you can post it on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. The more information you are creating today, the better off you will be. And it doesn't matter the type of business you're in, even if you're in the model train business and you're in a retail store, you should be doing videos every day. Okay. Also, posting before and afters. Okay. This is what things look like. You know, something looked like before, and this is what it looked like after we've done our work on it. Okay. So next we've got step 4, make your content memorable. Okay, I found this essay on content, Content is King by Bill Gates. Look, I wonder whether he's happy about how much content he's putting out there at the moment. It's the old McDonald concept, EIEIO. Yeah, so number 1, do something that is entertaining, something that's fun. Okay, number 2, something that inspires people. Doing something about how one of your customers or clients, about how they have overcome something to do, you know, something or you know, a testimonial. Find inspirational material for what you are doing and share it. It doesn't need to be original content as long as you are not claiming it as your own. Okay. Number 3, education. Yeah, education, like I'm doing right now on this webinar. Education is a massive part of what people are doing out there right now. What can you do to educate your market? If you're in bed sales, educate people on how to buy a bed. What are the top 10 things people need to know before they buy a bed? Okay. Or what are the 7 most asked questions when changing accountants? So number 4, informs people. What's happening in your marketplace, in your industry? And finally, number 5, opens dialogue. As well as engaging people, it needs to get people sharing and commenting. Make sure you're asking for people to respond to. This has 2 benefits: relationship building, and also getting whatever your post, whatever you post up on the rankings on the platform you're using, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, or any other social media site. The more people engage with it, the higher likelihood of people seeing it. Remember, some people aren't on social media all the time, but if your post is most popular, there is more chance of them seeing it when they go on. So step 5. Step 5 is blog or vlog. So let's look into detail about blogs and vlogs. Okay, so vlogs are just video blogs. These statistics are very telling. Okay, 97% of websites that have a blog get more index links. 434% of websites with blogs have more index pages. Now, what does that mean? Okay, the Google bots, when they go through your website, like new content, and your blog will get indexed, although you've got to have more than 300 words. You've got to have links, you've got to have value, you've got to have hashtags. So if you get your blog to the right people, it's more likely when they search to find you through your blog, your business with blogs. Your businesses with blogs generate more than 120% more leads. Okay, that should be reason enough to do it. Think of every blog article as a search engine optimization advertisement for your business. As an example, one of Action Coach's clients does sleepover parties for kids, you know, where they set up tents and arrange the sleepover. They write blogs like the top 10 ways to throw a successful kids party, the best 7 ideas for having a sleepover for kids. So all their blog articles about things that people search for when looking to have a children's party. Look up on Google Analytics what people search for when looking into things about your industry. And that's the first 10 articles. Write 10 good blogs around that subject. Once you have written your blogs, you want to share it everywhere. Okay, not just in your website, but on Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere. I always like articles that have 5 points to them, like 5 steps to this or 5 points to that. Graphics and images, you know, test and measure them first, but also it's best to use unique images or graphics rather than from a stock library. Okay. There are great graphic designers, photographers, and digital artists, you know, who can create something unique for you. There should always be in every blog be a call to action. Okay, every blog should ask the reader to do something, even if it's subscribed to the newsletter, and the relevant link should be there in every single one of them. Every blog should have a link to your social media so that the people reading it can follow you. You want to be interacting with them on every platform you can. LinkedIn is slightly different. Okay? It has its own article section, which uses its own blogging software built within it. So we replicate every blog from our website and actually put it directly in LinkedIn as its own article, its own document. The great thing about this is that every connection of yours on LinkedIn gets a notification the blog has been posted. So look, let's now move on to step 6. Okay, so step 6 of my 12 steps to pivot your marketing is add videos to your mix. Okay, so it's video, and more video. Video is the in thing right now, and it's the most important thing right now. Videos of you, videos of your customers, videos of your staff, testimonial videos, simple tips videos. Set up a regular podcast. Podcasts aren't just audio nowadays. They go into your YouTube channels as videos. We've seen radio stations do this, which is basically a radio show they put on TV. Now, if you're uncomfortable with video, preparation is key. Or do an interview, for instance. If you're doing a Zoom, you can record it. That way, it's not live, and if you mess up, you can go back and do it again. With interviews, you can bounce off each other. You can have your script prepared. You can have 10 questions prepared. You can interview a customer, a team member, or a supplier. So once you have prepared your video, you can post it across all your platforms. LinkedIn, YouTube, your website, all of these platforms have places you can go to learn how to do it. Most videos you want to keep under 10 minutes in length. Understand video is current and you need to do it. Arguably, it's the best form of marketing currently and the most interacted with. So I'm not sure whether you have all seen my free video course on how to survive and thrive, but I'll send you a link on it, but the link can be found on my website as well. If you go to the next stage, you go to live video. Okay, you can do live on Facebook, you can do live on LinkedIn, you can do live on Instagram, you can do live on YouTube. Live works well because people will comment as you are live. As they come on, you can say, it's great to see you, Bob. It's great to see you, Mary. Good to have you on. You can ask questions and interact. Live is very powerful right now. So step number 7 of my 12 steps to pivot your marketing, social media. Okay, let's get into some details on how to refresh it right now. Okay, so first, pick the 2 platforms you want to be the biggest on right now. Okay, for me, it's LinkedIn and Facebook. Now, what is your goal on social media? Your goal is to create interactivity. Your goal is to create leads. Your goal is to create people contacting you, people messaging you, people downloading things. Every day on your 2 chosen platforms, you need to think, what is my goal today? How many interactions do I want? How many people do I want to connect with? It's not just about getting them to engage, but it's also to talk. If someone likes one of your posts, you should contact them and thank them and suggest you meet for a virtual coffee to have a chat. Don't just let them comment. If someone shares your post, 100%, you have to send them a personal thank you and say, thanks for sharing. Glad you liked it, and I hope it helped out. We should get together for a virtual coffee. And if you're interested in what we do, here's a link. Don't just leave things at interaction. Make sure they're connecting with you at a level that leads to business. Now, I know some of you may be feeling bad about marketing or selling to people at the moment, but don't. If you are marketing to keep the lights on or the doors open, feel strong about it, feel glad about it. If you are employing people and paying wages, feel good about it. My aim is to try and help every business to try and keep the economy strong and the local community thriving. Look, of the business owners I speak to, about a third are booming, a third are just about surviving, and a third are really struggling. Be that business owner that does what is required to keep your business alive. Don't be afraid to ask for that sale. Refresh and revive. Get it up to date. So moving on now, step eight of the 12 steps to pivot your marketing. Yeah. So this is about boosting Facebook posts or creating ads. Okay. So I'm going to deal mainly with ads here. So if you create a post that gets massive interaction and leading to leads that should be boosted, okay, that you know, definitely should be boosted. So it gets to your entire audience. Look at all of your posts and see where you're getting the most interaction, the most sales. On Facebook, you can look at the analytics of every post and it shows who has interacted most. Is it mostly women or mostly men? Is it young people or older people? What country or what town are they in? It needs to be off of your business page. It can't be your personal page. You know, it's listed as a business page because it can get reviews. Okay, if it can't get reviews, you need to change it. So with that post, you boost, okay, you boost it and you add a button at the bottom, learn more or find out more. The object of the post is to get people to do something, to connect with you, to engage with you. Now, if you run an ad on Facebook, you'll probably have it running 20, 30, 40 different ways to different groups, to different target audiences. You don't just pick a massive group and run one ad with Facebook, okay? You know, you change the ad slightly to meet your target audience. So if I was running an ad to business owners in East Sussex, I might say in the headline, this is why businesses in East Sussex should have a business coach. And I might run the same ad in Kent, changing the headline to this is why businesses in Kent should have a business coach. You can recreate the ad by age group or industry or male and female or jobs, like this is why a CEO should have a business coach. So you can create the ad for as many micro groups, and you can also test the ad relatively cheaply and boost the ones that really work for you. The simpler it is, the better it is. I really love short video ads on Facebook, 15, 20 seconds. Again, if you want audience to, if you want advice or help on this, let me know. So look, we're moving now on to step 9, database building. So step 9 of 12 steps to pivot your marketing. Okay, so if you have a database, fantastic. But if you don't, you better start building one now. Okay, if you haven't updated your client relationship management software, you need to do it now, because you have to be looking at what is the latest and greatest automated CRM system for your business right now. Look, your database, your list of contacts, telephone numbers, email addresses is the most valuable assets your business has. Make sure that you give the people the opportunity for you to email them everywhere. Make sure they have the opt-in chance everywhere. Give them the chance to give you their email. If they join a webinar, if they download something, if they want to view something, when they buy from you, okay, when they inquire about buying from you, and so on. Okay, you see, if you look, you see it everywhere. If you go shopping online, you'll see messages saying, we will give you 10% off today if you just give us your email. So every time you have an interaction, you have to build your database. Okay then, 12 steps to pivot your marketing. Step number 10, email marketing. Look, you then need to look at your email marketing. A big part of this is making sure you know who is on your database, making sure that your CRM system, your client relationship management system, has methodologies to segment them down. Older customer or younger customer, this person bought this product, their purchasing manager, they're a CEO. The more data you can get on your database, the easier it is to do great marketing. So to give you an example, I was buying a birthday present for my wife and went on to a ladies' clothing website and bought her some clothes. I now get emails saying every lady needs this because they didn't ask whether I was male or female when I placed the order. The number one most important thing with email marketing is the subject line. And if you know your audience well, your marketing will be the better for it. Now you can test the subject lines by putting them out as tweets or memes on LinkedIn and seeing what gets the best engagement. Alternatively, you can test them on your database by, say, sending 10 different subject lines to 200 contacts and see what open rate you get. Then choose the best one to use on your entire database. Think about whether you want long form or short form emails. Okay, personally, my favorite is short form email, which would fit on one screen. It would be about 15, 20 lines and short, sharp, and to the point, including links to find out further things. Don't forget, it must have a call to action to get the recipient to do something and make it easy to buy. Okay, so e.g., click here now. Right, okay, look, still step 11. Okay, from here, you create a landing page. Okay, so the landing page has to look the same as the email you are sending or the advertisement, so that if there is a graphic in the email, use the same on the landing page, so that they don't go from an ad onto a landing page and think, what the hell is this? You can use lead pages or landingpages.com to create your landing pages, and they have all the buttons, etc. there. I use a lot of testimonials on my landing pages for social proof. I use pictures and videos if I can. Landing pages can save you a lot of time, particularly launching a new product, as you can set up one, and if it works, you just move it onto your website. Okay, so now we're moving on to step 12. Step 12 of 12 steps to pivot your marketing. Okay, now step 12 is Google Ads. So SEO, or search engine optimization, is vitally important. But the challenge with SEO now is that it will take 6 to 12 months to get your SEO working right. Okay, so to not use Google AdWords is one of the craziest things. Here's why. People are searching to buy your product or service. The reason I left this until last is that it is the most important thing for you to understand right now. Okay, when we're using Google AdWords, we are advertising to people who are already searching to buy. So when you do social media, it's the people you're hoping to buy. When you do Google AdWords, it's the people who are actually looking for your product or service. They've already made a decision to look for what you are selling. I said earlier that SEO is the most important, but for immediate impact, AdWords will get you at the top of the page. The cost of Google Ads and Facebook advertising is going up. YouTube advertising is still very good, and LinkedIn is still very effective and much cheaper than the others. Okay, Instagram is still very good to target a younger audience. So make certain you are doing this, and make certain it is high on your list. Now, look, still on step 12, there is so much more you can do with Google AdWords. Okay, there's too much for me to cover in this session. But if you're interested in finding out more, then let me know. Right. Now look, to finish up, okay. Firstly, do more marketing. Secondly, update your plan with your action coach. Thirdly, shift how and where you market. Shift your message and reallocate budget to new channels. Test, measure, adapt. Okay, whatever you do, keep marketing. Make sure you are positioning yourself for any opportunities in the market now, but also for the future opportunities to come. Okay, if you have kept marketing, improving your presence and profile in your respective market, marketing with compassion and authenticity, you'll be better placed than your competitors. Okay, so what I want you to think about is, what are the 5 things you need to do right now? Okay, so before you do anything else, write down what are the 5 things you need to be doing right now. Now, look, I wanted to share with you some great contacts that I have in relation to marketing and social media and websites and photography and printing and graphic designs. So reach out to any of these people, reach out to me, and we'll all be more than willing to help you. Look, I'm also offering at the moment complimentary strategy sessions for anyone who attends my webinars. Okay, so if you're watching this webinar, even if you're watching the recording of it, you can book this with this link. Okay, you know, look, the strategy session will review where you are now, identify the biggest areas of opportunity and most probably the biggest areas of frustration, and provide you with at least 4 or so strategies that you can implement into your business immediately with no obligation. Okay, there's no obligation. In fact, if I don't think business coaching is for you, I will be the first to tell you. But if it is, I'll put my money where my mouth is, and I guarantee a return on your investment. Okay, so look, make sure you book your complimentary one-to-one strategy session now to help your business grow. So thanks everyone for joining. I hope you got something valuable from this. If you didn't, go back over it again, because there's loads of valuable stuff in there, and look out for my other webinars that I'm running at the moment. Okay, thanks everyone for joining. Bye for now.